unfollow anybody who doesn't follow me back
Catherine,
because
we're live. We're live.
So grateful to be here and very happy to discuss these incredibly important and hard to talk about topics. He has an incredible backbone and staggering moral fiber. Howie is totally committed, completely ethical, totally admirable. No pressure if you can hear this, but honestly, Howie's a hero to me.
John, you joined us before, and it was pretty incredible testimony you gave, and you devoted your life to advocacy for child trafficking, and even 9/11 truth. Maybe you could explain to us, in the last decade, what do you think the most challenging parts of coming alive on some of these issues have been?
Probably the hardest thing, and it continues, is just realizing that pretty much everything that I was told and taught since I was in grade school is probably not true.
And hello, good evening, and welcome to the Traffic Report. Hi, Howie.
Hey, all.
Catherine.
evening, John.
Am I
Howard.
right up?
Yeah, you're right side up. We're all right side up. I feel sideways, but I'm right side up.
Yeah, during the introduction, I went in and there's something called an auto rotate, and somehow it got unchecked. I didn't uncheck.
Yeah, or some strange goings on at times with our social media. So I guess right
now my phone's doing it to me.
Yeah, I guess yeah, my devices are definitely conspiring against me, I'm pretty sure. But I just want to apologize right off the bat because last week's show got postponed, and life happens. I had to go out of town. Howie had stuff going on. Catherine was all ready to go, and so I'd have to take the major, well, at least half of the responsibility for not being on last week. And I think we all needed a rest. Well, I needed a rest, and I'm not sure I got one. I got a change, but I don't know that I got a rest. But with that, we've actually got a few viewers. I got a couple of tweets out and Facebook message, and we'll get back into saddle. And it's our show. We're allowed to take a week off if we want, but I just would apologize to anybody who was waiting to see that, regardless. But.
Well, there were people, so that was nice. That was very nice.
Yeah, that is a nice thing, and we got 5 viewers right now. So
I'm in there. I joined the chat.
Yeah.
Howard, you in there?
I'm trying. My internet's been really slow. I'm on.
I'm telling you.
I get free internet. I'm on a hotspot, and I use someone else's account, and I just log in with their account to the hotspot. I've been doing that for a long time. It's supposed to be a good hotspot, but lately it's been a little.
Oh my gosh! Now the FCC is going to be at your doorstep.
That's allowed, as long as he's got permission, that's allowed.
No, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm just, just using, using.
Why not? If they're okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a, an unsecure connection, but what are they going to do?
I would do it, but we only have cows that are next to where I live, so
they want if anybody wants to go in and steal my bank account information, go right ahead.
They could have mine too. But
yeah, anyone's more than welcome to my identity. I haven't checked my credit score in a while, but
whatever they want.
Sure, it's in double.
So I wanted to mention too, because I went down and saw some family in Florida, and I actually got reminded of why I do this, and probably the biggest reminder was I got to see my goddaughter, who's got a 3-year-old daughter, and another one on the way, either boy or girl, and we were able to talk about. Oh boy, I'm gonna do that, huh? We'll see about that. I might have to leave briefly and go kill a few dogs, but at any rate, I got to spend some time with her, and we got to talk about some of this stuff, and she was incredibly well informed about it, and
wow, nice.
Yeah, the advice that I give, she's already done. She does not let that girl out of her sight. She's any thing that she is doing, the mom is there with her, and that's not going to change. So that was encouraging to hear. And she's, hopefully going to be watching at some point, maybe not tonight. She's probably way busier than I am. But it was nice. And just, that's what it's about. This little 3-year-old that's, in this world, and is up against what's going on. So that was a reminder for me, and so yeah, it was a great trip, though I'm a little tired. It comes from being old. So, and we're gonna talk about. I was down in the neighborhood of the. We're kind of starting off with Nexium because we had an update to do last week, and I still have that. I got a response from the media rep of the Miami Rainbow Cultural Garden, and I'm going to go over that with you. It's pretty inadequate in my mind, because then I'll go over the questions and the answers, and you guys be the judge. But I was down there, and I actually offered to go on the record with the owner of the school, on an audio interview, or whatever she wanted to do. So I got zero response to that. So anyway, we'll start with Catherine's got some good stuff. I'm not sure if Howie probably has some stuff on Nexium, but I let me just go over.
Well, one thing that I was going to say, John, is to remind people that the Rainbow Cultural Garden schools, they are for infants up to, I don't know if there's an age cutoff, but it is for children. They are schools. They were started by Rainier and the skeevy doctor from New York.
Yeah, and let's talk about him for a minute right off the bat, because I didn't know that, and you've obviously done your homework. I haven't been here to do it, but this guy who was just indicted basically for doing human experiments, and I think that's just the tip of the iceberg of what he will eventually be charged with. But this is the guy that came up with this teaching method with Rainier.
Right. Dr. Porter, he's from New York. Well, now, in December of 2017, he was under investigation. Well, evidently, Mr. Schneiderman would not bring charges against Dr. Porter. So nobody's, sure what happened there, but Mr. Schneiderman would not bring charges against Dr. Porter. But now there have been some changes. Mr. Schneiderman no longer works for New York anymore. And
resigned abruptly. And while you're talking, Catherine, I'm going to put an article up, one of many. It was actually in Newsweek on this creep, Porter. And Albany doctor allegedly ran sick human experiments for Nexium.
Right. So, according to sources, this Dr. Porter and Rainier are the ones who started the Rainbow schools. So, at this point, nobody has been saying, or that I've heard, that this doctor designed any sort of curriculum for the school. As much as I've heard about the curriculum for the school is the 7 nannies for 7 days a week, a different language every day, and that day that they are in that language, that's all they dealt with was that language. So intense, focus on being bilingual, but they had no success. If you remember, we talked about that when we were talking about the school. They had no success, and they even had one child that couldn't even talk his own native language, much less a second language.
Yeah. I'm looking at this as a whole, and we'll get into with these answers and the people that are involved in this, and none of it makes sense. It's just.
So if anyone missed the last program, what you're talking about is you had corresponded with the Rainbow School in Florida, and they had responded back via email, and then you followed up.
Yeah, and Paula Pietras, I think is her name, is the proprietor of that school, and I'm imagining that she has some sort of relationship with the people that started it, which are the and let me just get to the questions, and some of that will be answered in there. But yeah, let me. Where is it? What? Just give me a second here. Had it a second ago. Well, that's interesting. All right, try this again. Okay, so here that's weird that email just disappeared, but I've got a sent copy of it. So, at any rate, these are and I'll go through the questions and their answers. But Cynthia Demos, she's used to work for CBS. She's a media consultant. She's the person that I actually talked with, and I stressed to her that they're under a tremendous microscope, and they're going to be, obviously, and DCF is auditing them. We haven't been able to get an answer if they're even up and running, but this week I'm going to find that out. But at any rate, she sent that statement. It was a canned statement, very low on any information, and so we had some follow-up questions. The first one was press reports state that the center was a project of Alejandro Sanz's wife. Is this accurate? If so, is she still involved? And Alejandro Sanz is some big Grammy-winning Latin singing star, and his wife, it was reported in the press that this was her project. So to that question, they answer that she is a client of the center where her children received tutoring. Okay, so that doesn't sound like a project. I'm not really satisfied. So there's an association there, at least with the center. So number two, these sisters, the Garza family, these two sisters were identified during the time the center was opening as talking about it on social media, thanking Rainier about the opportunity, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that these Garza women were that was the family that was harboring Rainier when he was basically absconding from justice, and the FBI found him at their residence. So my question was, the Garza sisters were touting and thanking Rainier on social media for the opportunity during the creation of the Miami Center. Are they now, or have they ever been involved with the center? And I put in quotes, this is a family who harbored Rainier in Mexico. An explanation of Sanz's and Garza sisters' promotion of the Miami Center is key and the most asked question by our audience. The center, so this is the answer. The center in Miami is independent. So that's not an answer. Okay, they don't say there is no relationship. They don't explain their involvement. They just say it's independent, which to me means nothing. Okay, so
I love to see their face when they
read this question.
Yeah,
yeah, me too.
Because I'm done laughing right now.
Yeah. So number 3, the only person listed currently associated with the corporations and affiliated with the center, because I did a little corporate digging on the center itself, and you can't tell who the officers are. There's nothing listed, but there was an association with a person called Raquel Avalon Arze. She's some rich socialite from New York, moves in the same circles as, some of these people that are being involved, with NXIVM. And she's involved in one of the corporations that's involved with the corporation that runs it. So I'm asking about her. Are there others? What is her or any other's role with the center? And does she or any others in the corporate structure have any association with the Garza family or NXIVM, Rainier? Okay, this is the answer. The center is owned by Destino R LLC, owned by Patricia Pietra, who runs the center. Okay, now that's not an answer. That's not an answer to that question. We know that. That was in the statement. And the problem is when you research this LLC, there's no information about it. It doesn't say anything about it. It doesn't even state her association with it. So, I'm getting no answers here. So number 4, does the Miami Center have any association with the Mexico centers or London? They were pretty adamant about this. No, 0 association. It is independent. That's kind of odd too. They've got this great idea. It's the same name. They're using the same, theory.
Curriculum.
Yeah, curriculum, whatever. And their story is the Miami Center is their curriculum changed, and now it's not even, associated with the idea that started the whole thing. That doesn't make any sense. So
well, someone is talking about, and I think it's the Florida school that is more tutor, go to their home type setting than like a classroom.
Yeah. And actually that
was my understanding.
Yeah. That's hi, Rosie. Rosie's in there. Okay. I'm just trying to keep track of the chat room. Greetings, everybody. Rosie, Ensel, someone else. Greetings. Everybody's popping in. Yeah. So they're, we lost Howie.
Okay, someone else is actually really someone. That's their call name on YouTube, just so you don't think John's lost it.
Yeah.
Hi, someone else. Anyhow, Betty there. No, that's really someone's name on.
I have lost it. So I got up at 2:00 this morning. So and I've been in the car 13 hours. So yeah, I've lost it. So let me just get through these. And we lost Howie. Hopefully he'll be right back. So I move on. Does the Miami Center have a board of directors? We would request their names if so. No was the answer to that. And the last question was, have there been any DCF actions regarding the center in the past? And what is the current status with DCF as far as the operation? The answer is no actions. So again, I got half an answer to that question. And I actually sent a follow-up email. I can read that to you. I said, thank you very much on that last question. Are you up and running again? we will share your responses with our audience on Wednesday. Okay. Actually, I'll be in Florida 5/8 through 5/15. I would make myself available if Miss Piedra wanted to do a short audio or video interview. So there was no response. So they're not responding to their current status with DCF. So that tells me that they're not up and running. But I'll find out. I'll know by, and I might do an update this week, just to answer some of these questions. But in my mind, that was a piss poor job of answering those questions. And it basically was just rehashing what was in the statement, which wasn't very helpful either. So I guess my advice to be totally transparent, doesn't seem like they're doing that. But more
their attorney told them differently, John.
More will be
their attorney
revealed.
said, "Don't listen to that guy."
Yeah, this guy. So and we're gonna keep digging and God forbid this is the case, but the NXIVM is showing links to the highest levels of politics, corporate structure. So this story is just getting started, and the truth will come out regardless. And it was my thought that, like I said, this hasn't been proven. It hasn't, it's a theory. And but if you're gonna run a child trafficking organization, and you want cover for that, and you want you're doing this internationally, what better way to put a center in Plainview in the United States that's has all these rich kids going to it, and support from stars, and same thing in London. This is very odd on Facebook, and you guys can see this for yourself. Their center in Monterey hasn't been active on Facebook for a year. So, and they have supposedly several centers, and we're still investigating that too, in Mexico and Guatemala. So what better way to have, what they're actually doing diverted, and the people that are involved with the Miami Center and the London Center might not even know this. They may be running a above board operation, and they're being used as cover for these other branches of it. And that's why, and the only question that was kind of emphatically answered was, no, we have no association with any of the other centers. And that strikes me as a little odd. And but
well, it's important to note that Florida Rainbow Culture School was not licensed the way that it was supposed to be,
right,
as well as the one in London was not. I don't know if it's a licensing issue. It's a little bit different over there. Whatever it was, they weren't proper with the government, with their school. So that's two that we know of right off the gate. They're not in compliance.
Right.
Well, one thing I was going to throw in real quick also, I saw, and it might be scrubbed from the internet now, but I saw where Penelope Cruz had actually taken her child to NXIVM in Florida, but didn't leave them there very long and took them out. And what that meant by not very long, no one was specific.
Well, and as this unfolds, we're finding out that Rainier and this mad scientist creep, brainwasher
Porter
doctor, developed this curriculum. If I had a kid in that school, they would be out immediately, until this is all investigated, until all these links are either proven or disproven. So,
well, while we're talking about NXIVM, we really can't talk about them without talking about the guy who is behind the Frank report that's on Twitter and on YouTube. Well, no, wait, maybe I misspoke about YouTube, but he does a lot of blogs about NXIVM. He's been following them. He is the one who left. He was.
Yep. Yeah, he was a part of the organization. I think he was in
Frank Parlato.
Yeah.
Or Parlato, Parlato. He was a former publicist.
Yes.
And he does the Frank Report. And so you can find him on Twitter under the Frank Report. He has everything NXIVM. He's been after them for years, and he has the dirt. And people that I listen to and have checked with that have talked about NXIVM, they refer to him. So he's got the dirt.
Yeah,
and if you want to know about it.
So I've got to get over and like some of those videos because Mad Broadcasting and I think Mad Real has done. They're all over this too. And
yes.
Yeah, and
I was going to say that as well, but
and while we're talking, Howie has apparently experienced a total 4G failure, which is not good. And I imagine he's trying to get back on. I'm not even sure I can get a text to him. I just texted him and he's in the chat room. You can see him, Catherine. He's like, first time I ever lost 4G on my phone. So,
yeah, I see it now.
We haven't forgotten about you, Howie. If you can get back in, come on back in. But yeah, this is just getting up. And I don't know if I even finished that thought because I'm a little punchy. But if you're going to run child trafficking out of, where do you do it? You don't do it in a high end section of Miami. Not to say that everything they're doing there is above board, but it's done in third world countries with corrupt police forces, and like Mexico and Guatemala and these other locations. So and then you've got the government officials that look at this Miami center. Sands his children, their children are in this thing. Oh yeah, let's help them. Why are they? There he is. He's back. What's going on, man?
I just lost the 4G on my phone. I just restarted the phone. I have no idea, dude.
Okay, well, you're back. So we're kind of Catherine. You got some more on NXIVM, because it still is. This is going to be, it's in progress. It's unfolding. I think we barely scratched the surface. Oh, and let me just cover the Allison Mack was in court with Rainier just recently. This was less than a week ago, I think. And there was reporting from inside the courtroom, and apparently he was trying to make eye contact with her. She'll have none of it. She was, and I think she's still trying to get a plea deal. She's saying she's not, but if they offer a plea at some point, that's what they do. That's probably will happen. But according to what was going on, the body language in the courtroom, there's no love lost there. And the prosecutor revealed that there are indictments yet to be unsealed in this matter, and it's widening. So stay tuned.
Well, the NXIVM end of it, it sounds like it was Rainier and the prefect Salzman. They're the ones who developed the NXIVM company ESP, Executive Success Program. And so they have a 12-step mission statement. And one of the points to pledge, and I guess they have to repeat this every day, or I don't know. It's, anyway, so they have to pledge to ethically control as much of the money, wealth, and resources of the world as possible. Be ethical, though.
There he is.
Well, now, okay, so with the trafficking end of it, so the branding part comes in from the DOS, dominant over submissive program. That's where they're saying the branding comes in. Okay, so those who participated in the DOS program, the dominant over submissive, that's who got the branding and everybody liked it. Everybody was happy about the branding. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, and you know, the indictment isn't for branding. The indictment is for child trafficking. So apparently the Justice Department and the prosecutors know something that we don't know yet. So that's what the indictment's for. If you read the indictment, it's not for, you know,
well, some of the families,
it's for child trafficking.
Some of the families who have family members in NXIVM that are like brainwashed, they talk about the how they get the young women in compromising situations, and then like pictures. Well, evidently that is part of the program. You have to provide something for them that they can use in case you go rogue on them. So you and I talked about this, John. Don't let anybody for any reason hold you captive. I don't care what the pictures are of. I'm telling you, I don't care what the pictures are of. It is not worth your soul getting sold. No. Honestly.
No. Oh my God. Did you see this letter on their website?
No.
Oh my God. This is from the indicted guy.
Oh wait, I read it. Go ahead. Yeah, okay. I read it.
This is him. Dear members, I'm deeply saddened by the recent news relating to our organization. A number of key people involved and past friends. The picture being painted in the media is not how I know our community and friends to be, nor how I experience it myself. However, as an organization, as individuals, wait, let me just put this up so people can read it. Oh my God. I guess this was put out shortly before he was indicted. And this is they actually still have this on the website. I'm ready to fall over. All right. So it says, we felt it was imperative that we hire experts to ensure there is no merit to the allegations. Over the past months, there have been extensive.
I love that part. Independent
investigations performed, by the Justice Department. That's why you're indicted, by highly qualified individuals. And they firmly concluded there is no merit to the allegations that we are abusing, coercing, or harming individuals. These allegations are most disturbing to me, as nonviolence is one of my most important values. Oh my God, I just can't even read any more of this. You know, our experts, a forensic psychiatrist of international repute. What's their name? Psychologists and ex-law enforcement say members of the sorority are thriving, healthy, happy, better off, and haven't been coerced. What? Oh my God.
John, now honestly, all those people that he's talking about, they do have people like that. Remember, we went through some of the people that
they're brainwashed. They're brainwashed. Yeah, 9 out of 10 brainwashed people love the cult. Yeah, okay. But they have this actively on their website. The guy's under indictment for child trafficking. You know. Really?
Well, he was hoping you didn't see that part, I think.
Yeah. Well, there he goes thinking again. Bailey's in the chat room. Oh my God, you know, it's just beyond belief, you know. So stay tuned. We'll move right along. I know you've got Pedogate news. Howie's got some Pedogate news, right, Howie? Or not?
Yeah, I mean, you know, not for nothing. I don't know if anybody's paid attention. I've been kind of quiet for, you know, the past couple of weeks. You know, online. I've just, you know, I don't know. Just I think things have, after, you know, for me personally, after, you know, a year and a half, you know, things just kind of caught up with me, you know, and you never know when it's going to happen. It just sort of happens. So, you know, I've just kind of needed like a little bit of a break. I don't know if, like, you know, seeing a video like go to close to 150,000 views and, you know, doing interviews, but, you know, I'm going to get back more, you know, more into it. I'm just, you know, personally, you know, planning my own planning my own little strategy of like how I want to do. You know, when you see something like this Nexium, I mean, the bottom line is the thing's just, I mean, the whole organization is just totally fucked, and
that's
you know,
that's the best description.
I have. Yeah, I mean it is. I mean, and it's not just one aspect in getting into school. Like it's so convoluted that it needs once again we the people to be paying attention to this, to be making noise about it. I don't think there are enough, you know, law enforcement agents to, you know, there probably are, but they just don't have the resources to unwind this, you know, these types of things. And, you know, that once again, that's where the media comes into play, and they're obviously not going to talk about it. And, you know, I have, you know, over the past, you know, several months, I've had the unfortunateness of working in a place where it has televisions and you get to watch like local news. And when I see local news and the nonsense that is being broadcast day after day after day, you know, I don't have a television in my house. So, I mean, it's when you're away from it for a while, it's stunning, absolutely stunning what they will put on television. And I don't know. You know,
you gotta take a break from this, and it has its toll on me, on Catherine, on you.
I was going to say that because it's very important. Self-care is very important. And Howard doesn't realize everything that he's done in the past weeks, and you don't understand the pressure that there is, because you know there's a damn kid somewhere that needs that help, needs for Howard to go and confront Joe Biden. And
yeah, I don't want to make this about me. You know, I'm
not making it about you either, Howard, but I am going to say something about self-care, and it is important. And it's important to realize and understand when you've done what you did all that time, and really we're in the thick of it. You know, you hang and you do what you have to do, but when it's over with, and this is what I do, whenever I'm in the thick of it, I'm standing, but once it's over with, I'm down. And I go down hard. And so that's not unusual. And so it's important to note, and I see people in the chat talking about self-care also.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And
well, in the very beginning, you know, I was, you know, people know, like I was unemployed. So, you know, I had, you know, literally 24 hours a day to do it. And, you know, as I started working and then I started working more, you know, I'm going to keep the camera like right here, because I wouldn't want to show my apartment, you know, like, you know, the mess it is. And, you know, like I just don't, like I don't have time to do like, you know, like anything. You know, I want to, you know, and it's things like, you know, I don't care if my apartment's messy per se, but it, you know, I guess I just need, you know, I need a little bit of a break from, you know, a lot of stuff. But it doesn't mean that, you know, I mean, there's things coming up in June that I want to do. There's things all summer long that I want to do. So, you know, it's just hard, you know, being on social media for me right now. I guess I'm saying.
And I get it. I didn't want to, and I didn't, you know, and it just happened. The timing, I guess it's like, I don't need to go into that, but it's like,
right, you know,
how can you talk about what we talk about and not, you know, be affected emotionally and mentally and everything else?
Yeah. I didn't want to look at Twitter. I didn't want to look at Facebook. I didn't want to watch the news, you know, and I think we all kind of got there at the same time, you know. So at least you and I did. Catherine's probably tougher than both of us, but
but just, you know, sometimes, you know, you need a little bit of a spark. And I had sent out I had sent out a message, a direct message in Twitter to a certain individual who has a lot of really good information, and he's in the Philadelphia area. So it's somebody I wanted to talk to for a really long time, and John knows this. And so I don't know. It was like last week, I think I sent him a direct message, just hoping he might respond or whatever. And I hadn't looked on Twitter for probably close to a week. And he responded to my DM with his phone number. So hopefully, we'll have a really good guest on the show coming up in the next. I would hope within the next month. He's told a story before, but it's really good stuff. But so when that happened, it was like, got that little spark. Sometimes you just need that little, that little spark. And, I kind of got it today. So hopefully, that'll, get my thing moving again.
Yeah. Well, I know you. You're just, you just needed a break, and I think we're all like this, that, you just kind of put it to the side and no, I'm all right and blah, blah, blah. And
No, Howard was actually witness to and subject to my little, off the charts rant. So that probably didn't make anything easier for him. God love him.
Yeah. But then getting back to, if we're going to, talk about like, pedogate news, for example, like I didn't want to necessarily go out and find information, but I just going on the hashtag, I'm going down, and 8 hours ago, there's a story about a Secret Service bust of a Texas pedophile with 58 terabytes of child pornography.
Yep.
So, that alone is like, okay, great. But now let's stop and think about, I'm not a computer expert. Probably people know that. What the fuck is 58 terabytes?
Yeah. You know what that is? That's millions of rapes.
Millions. Yes. Right. So
Jesus God.
Just the fact that much exists. Now, if if they, okay, so it'll say 58 terabytes. If they said a man has child pornography with, 2 million individual children on there, that means 2 million individual children have been raped.
Yeah.
Well, they probably haven't gotten.
You won't see that in the story. It's like, well,
you can't unwind 58 terabytes. I mean, I've seen like some where it says like 750,000, videos and images or whatever. I don't know what 58 terabytes is. I just know it's like a lot,
Right. Let me check the chat and see if anyone has an idea.
There's our favorite guy. This is at the New York Evening News. The Vatican quietly pays $4 billion to child sex abuse victims. You think that could be because they're number 3 on trial in Australia?
Yeah, that number's been out there for a while. They say they've paid out $4 billion, or that's what it's cost the church. I thought $4 billion was about like what, and it doesn't really matter. It's still $4 billion. How much money do they have? But $4 billion, and there are still stories coming up about the Catholic. You could still find every month. You can find new stories about the Catholic Church. A month and a half ago, there was a whole thing in Buffalo, New York. I don't remember that, John. I was posting about that.
Yeah.
I got the one paper in New York. They were doing a lot of work on it, and the diocese there was like going back and forth whether names should be released. But listen, man, this stuff it just continues to be everywhere. And I don't know how many people watch the news and watch television, but I'm telling you, it is just.
Yeah, and the shit that they have on there. This this bullshit about McCain.
I'm in a major market, and the local news, the nonsense, the utter nonsense that the local news has become. And I never watch it except when I go into work, 5 o'clock. You know, I got nothing to do, standing around waiting for tables, and I'm watching the shit that they put on that screen, and we wonder why, you know, people don't know about what is going on. It's unbelievable. I would think that 58 terabytes worth of child pornography would be a major story. One person, that's one guy. One guy has it.
Yeah.
Where the hell did he get it?
Well, a lot of work still to be done, and I'm, you know, modestly encouraged that you know, there's been some big trees falling. They're still falling. We got Backpage is done. You know, Nexium is exposed. You know, and just that prosecutor saying, you know, there's more indictments to come, and then we've still got all those sealed indictments. So yeah, but there's obviously.
You know, John, in the year, I mean, I guess it's been about a year since we've been doing this. I don't know. We probably should have had our 1-year anniversary. It was somewhere around this time. May.
Yeah.
But you know,
I might be able to even find out for you. Let me see. Maybe it's tonight, dude. It was the weirdest thing. I rode with the fire department one of the days I was there, and I found out the day after that was the anniversary of my retirement, like 7 years ago, which was strange. So let me look through our shows to see if I can see when our anniversary is. We missed our anniversary, Howie.
it's got to be right around here. But you know, I was just thinking, like in that time, you know, like whether it's Larry Nassar or, you know, a lot of the Hollywood stuff. I mean, you know, a lot of big things have broken in just 1 year. I mean, it's really, you know, and now, you know, now it's kind of commonplace, but there's just, you know, sometimes it just seems like it's never, you know.
Well, we didn't miss our anniversary. It's the 23rd of May. So
23rd. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the first show, and shout out to L and the Finders, 87 to at Missing Kids Day, 5/24, 2017. So that was. So
next week's the anniversary show, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll have a party. I don't know, something.
It feels like 10 years sometimes.
Yeah. I hear you. So,
all right, Catherine, what do you got for
what do you got for
story? You got any beautiful stories to share?
Oh, she's on mute right now.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay.
She's back.
Wait, just listening to me rant so I apologize.
No, I was gonna go search the hashtag myself.
Well, go ahead. You know, because that's what I'm doing. You know,
well, I think that it's good. I think that it's great. I was looking earlier, and there's video from Retweet of someone trying to kidnap a little kid in China. You see that? Some guy was trying to walk right by and take this little one, and then the older boy goes and gets him.
Yes.
So that's on.
Did you see who was at the top of that hashtag?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bailey.
Right. Right.
Bailey.
So.
God. Just going down the yep, there it is. That's Dr. Mrs. Girlfriend. She's awesome too. has the 58 terabytes, equivalent to over 500 hours of video. Now,
500 hours of video.
Yep.
I thought it would have been more than that.
Yeah, and well, you can imagine. I mean, how many individual kids, and man, and I'm hoping what they're doing now when they run across this information is at least attempting to identify these children.
Someone with the Nightingale on Twitter, KIWIANNA111 said that Michigan State reaches a $500 million settlement with Larry Nassar victims. Did you see that?
No.
From WNEP.com. I'm not sure who that is, so I don't know. Let's go look at it. Wouldn't that be something? That's pretty quick.
Yeah, I can't imagine. That's pretty quick. But and
WNEP ABC.
Oh.
By CNN Wire.
Wow.
I'll be darned. Alrighty, Michigan State University will pay $500 million to settle lawsuits brought by 332 victims of Larry Nassar.
Not enough. Not enough. What about the victims of the head of their medical school? They aided and abetted. They're gonna get out from under with that.
Well, there could be more lawsuits filed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's a start. I mean, it's a start, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, once again, I think that there's good and bad in the Larry Nassar case. Yes, it's exposed, but it sucked up all the attention. And if it had led to like, hey, we've got a problem here. If it sparked a national conversation, that would have been great. But it's sort of, for me, it sort of seemed to begin and end with Larry Nassar. Like there was like this one bad apple in the bunch, and it just like the Me Too movement, whatever, got all this attention. Pedogate did not from Larry Nassar. That should have been a launching pad. But once again, mainstream media does not obviously not want to touch this. And I'm on Google right now searching child sex abuse arrests. All need man, or what's that?
You just tell me. Does it? What does this evoke for you? The New York Times, headed by a guy who lied under oath during an investigation to protect the most prolific serial violent sex offender, Jimmy Savile, is running this story about Larry Nassar and the victims. Does that get under your skin?
Wow. John, you want to hear a coincidence? Like, all right, we're way switching gears here. When we were talking about those schools, the Nexium schools, I had it in my head because things had come up about like the Montessori schools,
right?
Just about how they were like a little bit different. So I'm catching a story right here. Head of Montessori School of Raleigh, I guess Raleigh, North Carolina, arrested for aiding and abetting in sex abuse case. Okay, I'll post this up. So, and I had just been, I didn't have Montessori in my head because I couldn't remember the name of it. The head of a Montessori school in Raleigh was arrested Wednesday for allegedly aiding and abetting in a sexual abuse case. Raleigh police confirmed that Nancy Arricchetti was arrested at the school. This comes after Arricchetti was indicted by a grand jury Tuesday of charges of aiding and abetting and taking indecent liberties with a child and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The jury determined that between August 14, 2012 and 2016, Arricchetti aided and abetted Nicholas Smith to take or attempted to take immoral, improper or indecent liberties with a child who is under the age of 16, the date of the offense. So, as we're
girl right there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So, people, nobody's ever, I don't think anyone's ever we've really delved into the Montessori schools. But once again, there's this thing of alternative education, different ways.
Allie, listen to this article.
Okay.
This article on it, it's on Indie Week, which is, I guess, the Raleigh newspaper. But last year, as the India has previously reported, a teacher at the school, Nicholas Conlon Smith, was charged with more than 20 counts of statutory rape in the possession of child pornography. Now they got her.
Right. So after the teacher was doing it, she's helping.
Right.
Who are these people?
Exactly.
Who are these people that would be in charge of a school? That, okay, you have a teacher, whatever, blah blah blah. I mean, now you have the makings of a ring.
Right.
Aiding and abetting. Yep. And of course, it's a child under 16. We don't know the age of the student. So,
yeah,
you don't have to look too hard to find stories.
The horror show continues. So, and as we've seen, in the public schools and the Boy Scouts and the Explorers, and so yeah, of course, and what kind of shocked me about this, even the woman who was the my wife is rounding up cats, but at any rate, they were kind of surprised that there might be scrutiny about their organization, and it's like you're a school. Why would you think you're any different than the public schools, or now the Montessori schools in Raleigh, or the schools in Broward County? I mean, and she, well, I guess she worked for CBS News. That doesn't mean she knew actually what was it. She didn't know who Jimmy Savile was, or Mark Thompson. Wow. So you got any more Pedogate news stuff, Catherine?
Well, I just searching the hashtag. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi called for a prompt House ethics investigation into Rep. Tony Cardenas, Democrat from California, on Saturday following reports of allegations that he sexually abused a 16-year-old girl in 2006. That was on 5/6/18.
Wow.
Well,
what was that?
It's also Nancy Pelosi, but I don't know.
Well, she's going after a Democrat. Who's this? What's this guy's name? Can you spell
it? It's spelled Cardenas. Tony.
Yeah.
Card.
Yeah, Cardenas. Yeah, I've heard of him.
Cardenas. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell it again?
Cardenas. Denas.
Yeah.
Pearl River, Louisiana, man booked on 25 counts of child pornography. Pedogate News hashtag. Pope Francis hints he may retire. New York Post. Pedogate News hashtag. Wonder why someone put that under Pedogate News hashtag.
Really?
Just kidding. We all know why they did that.
Yeah, I need to. I'm going to in the next week too. I want to see what's going on in Australia, and from what I understand, there's like a gag order in place, which is screwed.
Oh, this was news to me. Pedophile ring bust linked to arrest of a current affairs Ben McCormick.
Wow.
Does anyone know who a current affairs Ben McCormick is? I know what a current affair is, but I don't know who Ben McCormick is. I thought maybe someone else would. So that was 1 day ago, posted by Eve Tweets on Twitter under the Pedogate News hashtag.
Wow.
Thank you everybody for using that hashtag. Thank you for using that hashtag. Please and continue and encourage others. If it's the hashtag is for arrests and convictions.
Yeah.
Involving child sexual abuse. Look at how it works.
Yeah. The guys at Open Secret are charging on, and I look at the Daily Mail. They're coming forward with the survivor of Polanski's rape, and why I'm hoping that with the atmosphere, his extradition is in the works.
Well, Bailey was saying,
they do. Hold on a second. They do some. Open Secret does some really great tweeting now. Hopefully, everyone follows them. But before Matt came on our show, they weren't too active on Twitter, and we sort of encouraged them. Like, now they're up to. I'd like to know how many followers they had before they came on the show. They're up to. I just went on their thing. They had 7.
Yeah, I remember they were, I think, around 4,000 followers, and we
4,000.
Yeah, we did a thing for them because they were trying to get to 10,000, and we helped them with that. And
and they're up to 17,000, over 17,000. I was like, you guys should have way more. I knew it was like in the low thousands, and I was like, man, you guys should have like way more followers. And so anyone who's following an Open Secret or seen an Open Secret, obviously, but please follow them. And but
not everybody knows what an Open Secret is, Howard.
They are
people that are.
Yeah, I would hope everyone knows. Yeah, okay, we could.
Yeah, if you don't know, you haven't been paying attention. It's Matt Valentinus and Gabe Hoffman. They're the producers of the only documentary on the sex trafficking that was going on for years and years in Hollywood, and they've been breaking that open. They have a new interview with a young man that's delving deeper into this and naming Brian Singer, who's absconded. He hasn't been indicted yet, but there's a whole number of them who have fled the country in preparation for being indicted. But hopefully they'll be extradited. But yeah, they're amazing. And I think Gabe runs the Twitter account. I'm pretty sure. So he's
yeah. If you go on their page, they're like their own little Pedogate News. It'd be nice if maybe if I can reach out to them and say, hey, could you hashtag some things? But if I'm going right down their page. David Blair, 36 of West Virginia, pleads guilty to 1 felony count of sex abuse with a 9-year-old girl. When you're researching, all the cases of what's going on, it really runs the gamut. It runs the gamut of ages of the children. And it's one thing. It's most startling to me that like I can read a story about a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, a toddler, and now it's like it's not even a big deal. Where 2-3 years ago, we're not always talking like teenagers and high schoolers, and I don't want to get into the whole debate about age of consent and things like that, but you know, we're talking about a lot of these stories. We're talking about really, really young children, and you know, and that's the thing that, you know, the general public needs to be made aware of. It's a really, really scary situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
oh wow. Hey John, you know, we did a Pizzagate pamphlet. Ooh.
I remember that.
Yeah. You know, we got it done, and you know, some copies have been printed up. Unfortunately, you know, I still have a bunch sitting in my room. But Twitter user Jamie Deluxe DLUX Jamie JAMIE DLUX. And we put it together. I just was like, hey, anybody want to, you know, we put like a little Skype group together, and but he did graphic design, so he helped design this. But an open secret just retweeted him. Jamie finished the video on a blind, and I sort of lost contact with him, but I just saw an open secret tweeted out the fact that he just finished some type of video. So anybody goes to the open secret page, you know, it's like a reading of it's like a sub Postponed news. They put a lot of nice stories out, and by nice I mean relevant stories.
Well, did you see that an open secret also retweeted Showbiz 411? New doc reveals Whitney Houston molested as a child by cousin Dee Dee Warwick. Verified.
Dionne Warwick?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dee Dee, sister of Dionne. Dee Dee, sister of Dionne, has been dead for several years. If true, explains everything.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Something's vibrating. It's probably my brain. And guys, I don't mean to cut you short in any way, but I'm just running on empty. So we covered what we want to cover. So you're welcome to come back on. I'm gonna have to
Okay. Coming up on.
Yeah. So, and thanks everybody. We had a bunch of people in the chat room. Thank you everybody. And I'm gonna get some sleep, and we're gonna reload, rejuvenate, reset, and we'll be back with a vengeance. I guess our anniversary is coming up, so we're gonna have to think about what we want to do for that show.
I mean, I hadn't been thinking about it, but as we were talking tonight, that I was like, it's been about a year. So next week will be an anniversary show, and we'll do something anniversary related.
Yeah, it hopefully piss some people off.
Yeah. Could be a walk down memory lane.
That's what we're good at, right?
Yeah, maybe we need that a little bit to see, you know, like, you know, what has happened in the last. What has happened in the last?
Right off the bat, I can remember it. It sounded like we were just howling in the wilderness to nobody. You know? That's what it felt for months like, you know, for me. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I take a lot of notes, and I already have one-inch notebook full of stuff. Of course, I write big and sloppy, but, you know, anyway.
Well, I'm sure we'll have something interesting. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody in the chat room. I'm just going to say goodnight, and I'll stay on for a minute because I just want to say goodnight to you guys too. And we will see you next Wednesday. Right. We're back in the saddle, and thank you everybody for all your support. Stay with us. We're making progress. So.
Thank you much. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.